Well, we've hit a little cold snap here in mid-January here in Boise. And I kind of hate to use the word cold because I know my friends and family watching from northern Minnesota are kind of scoffing at that word.
Out of Minneapolis, you're used to the cold there. We know that, but get ready for it to get really intense.
Get some ice here on the river. The other day when I was talking to my son, it was the high there was 20 below zero. The low here was like 15 and I was complaining. So, all right, gotta be honest. Who doesn't want to do a little slip and slide on this just to start things off? Probably should have a helmet on. Hitting a spot of the river here I haven't fished all year. I love this area, but somebody's either been in it fishing or I just haven't had time to hit this spot. So even though it's not Minnesota cold, yeah, you're still standing in the winter. You're still standing in the water in the winter. And so this guy right here is super helpful. This will keep my hands warm because I hate wearing gloves fishing. I'll just rotate hands into my waders, into my pocket there, keeping things warm in there. Thankfully the sun's out. That's why I picked this day. Well, I picked this day because I could go fishing. So I don't want to pretend that there's anything strategic about why I'm fishing today. It's because I can. Pretty currenty right here, but I always start here anyway. Get a few floats in here. It's moving quick. I got a little bit more weight on. Down here it's gonna open up, slow down as it widens out. And that's really, I think, the money spot. We'll find out. Hear the bird sounds, guys? That's like, speaking of Minnesota, that's like a Minnesota spring sound right there. So even though it is cold, we got Minnesota spring weather, birds, open water. So nothing in the faster moving water, which I guess maybe doesn't surprise me as much. If I don't need anything in the slower moving water, then I'll be surprised. But colder weather, high pressure, fish are hanging in those deep holes, just chilling, not feeding super aggressive. In a spot like this, there is quite a bit of good water. So kind of slow down and try different casts, different floats. There's a fish. Looks like a beautiful brown. Not huge, but beautiful color. Just saw that. Just saw that brown tail come up. I mean, he's definitely fighting more than I thought he was at first. Oh yeah, it's a nice fish. This is my first legitimate bite. And I mean, the color is really stunning on this one, guys. I mean, these are the ones that, oh man. Oh. These are the ones you fish for right here. Slower day, not as much action, and you all of a sudden feel bump, 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 bump. And you know what that means. Oh yeah, that's a chunky one. That's a great fish, hooked right in the corner of the mouth. Barely, actually. Okay, real quick. There it is. There's a gorgeous fish, man. Look at the color. There he goes. And that's why I have a heater in my pocket, because now my hands are really cold. But I would say you would probably agree it's worth it. That was a great fish. That was a great one. You guys okay with that one? I think there might be another one. We have a little stretch here before it gets shallow again where we can just kind of keep working down and see if we can't find one stuck in there. We caught his buddy. Now, that fish was right in here somewhere, right in the middle. It's a fish. Oh yeah. Oh no, no, no. That one felt good. Hey, look, it's a part of fishing, but I still don't like it. Still don't like losing fish, especially nice fish. The only positive to that is, hey, I know where the fish are. This fish, there we go, left-handed hook set. I have a bad reputation with those guys. I see a really bright colored rainbow. We got out of the current right away. I bet like 10% left-handed hook sets, so I can see the color in this thing. It's gorgeous. I don't know if you guys can or not. Oh, 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 oh. Wow, this is a stunning fish. This is maybe the best colored rainbow trout I've ever caught on this river. I have caught a lot, but there's something about this one right here. Wow. Right in the corner of the mouth again. I mean, barely hooked, so you can see why I would miss some of these fish. Isn't that absolutely stunning? Wow. Okay. That was amazing. That was a incredible looking fish. Two right there. We had that brown and that rainbow. That's pretty special. Pretty special place. Hey, look, I know if you're from around here, you know where I'm fishing. You know, with landmarks and all. Even if there wasn't, you probably could figure it out. And for the most part, we get a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people are super thankful for the tips, for the help. I usually respond to messages if people ask, you know, where to fish. What am I doing here? So I think for the most part, people appreciate this video, these type of videos, but there are a few who will respond because I am fishing by a landmark. So I guess my plea to you is to respect the river, handle fish quickly. If you're going to release them, you know, try to get them back in as soon as possible, especially if it's below freezing. Really quick, in and out. You know, if you're going to keep fish, great, keep fish. This is I mean, they stock a lot of trout in here expecting there to be harvest, so don't feel bad about that. But if you can and you release some of those big ones, sure, it's fun to catch them again and again with sharing the river with you guys. So I think the river is in great shape and more bigger fish now than I've seen in the last 10 years, but I understand that there's an increase of population, increase of pressure, and that irks people, and I get it. It's a fine balance I'm trying to play here of entertainment / educational, but also respecting something that was here long before I was, 12, 13 years ago, whenever it was that I moved here, 12 years ago, from eastward, not from that west state that, you know, may or may not be mentioned by people here in Idaho. No hard feelings, by the way. There he is. Well, definitely not small. Another really, really colored up rainbow. Not as much as the last one, but just trying to walk it out of the current here. Wow, that's a thick fish. Look at that one. That's a third really chunky fish out of that. All in that slower moving water. Hooked right in the corner of the mouth again. Big old fat fish. Big belly on it. Wrong way, you. Wrong way. Okay, hands are getting cold now. That's what you want. You want cold hands because of fish. Okay, here's the plan. We fished this fairly thoroughly on this side, in this stretch, and it was slow at first, but got those beautiful fish there at the end. Now you might think, okay, let's move on to a different spot. Here's the deal: this river will fish. It'll fish differently from each side. Our doing these fan casts where it kind of floats back below us here, but we're really missing a lot of really good water. Right on that side, there's a really sweet like current break that where we've just had great success before. So we're gonna sneak on the other side and fish it again. Where were we? We must have been down here just a little bit further, huh? When we caught that brown. But you can kind of look below me where the angle of the river goes towards this bank. And as we get closer, there's gonna be less of this slower stagnant. This isn't stagnant, but there's gonna be less of this type of water, more of fishing right on the current break, which I think will be good. You can see below me as the current kind of pushes into the shore. That is going to be really kind of our target. So from this tree down, oh, it's definitely a fish. There. I'll let him chew on. Oh, guys, that was a good fish. That's really heartbreaking. I mean, he gave me some time to think about it too, and I blew it. All right, my legs can't handle too much more of this, but I do want to see if I can get out here, get around this point, fish right below these trees right here, because for years there's kind of a beaver house, stash, food pile around there, and a little bit deeper right in there. It's a fish swimming with it. For sure. Come on now. Come on now. It was all kind of a weird scenario right there. It took me a while to feel it. Let's see this thing, huh? What do you think it is? But it's a giant brown trout. I mean, giant's a relative term, but that's very, oh yeah. That, I was hoping I'd get to say this line. That is why we came to this side. We had the bites, lost a few, and then stick and stay and make them pay. That is a chunker. Dang! Oh yeah. You were just, oh yeah, it's right in your mouth, right there. Right at the top of the mouth. In case you guys are wondering, the water is still cold. And I do got my bump board right here, and I brought it, so we might as well just check for fun. I like to put the bump board in the water, make sure everything's wet. $20.5. Okay, we gotta get you guys to look at this thing with the sun behind you, because I mean that's where the color's at, right? You guys see that? Isn't that amazing? There you go. Oh, the satisfaction of that is it's very, very rewarding. We knew that this side provided some different opportunities. Had a few that I missed, but that one right there, man, that was awesome. And I'm glad, because I was getting cold and I need to get out of the river for a bit. I'm gonna repack my garage sale here and then head back to the bike. Mid-January, cold weather. You guys know the routine. Little piece of shrimp, size 8, salmon egg hook, split shot, depending on the current. And that's a refish. Alright guys, I'm back on the e-bike. Heading home. That was a fun little quick trip in the river here. Some very nice fish. But hey, appreciate you guys watching. My name is Matt. This is Old Dad Fishing / e-bike racing. Take care, we'll see you soon.